नमस्कार, मैं हूं आपके साथ अंकिता पाल। बुलेटिन की शुरुआत करते हैं। उत्तर प्रदेश नजूल संपत्ति विधेयक 2024 विधानसभा में भारी विरोध के बीच में पारित हो गया है, जिसको लेकर कांग्रेस के पूर्व एमएलसी दीपक सिंह का बयान सामने आया। उन्होंने इसे अंग्रेजों के काले कानून से ज्यादा खतरनाक बताया है। दीपक सिंह ने क्या कुछ कहा है, आपको भी सुनाते हैं।
उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार ने नजूल भूमि अधिनियम जो पास किया है, ये अंग्रेजों के काले कानून से ज्यादा खतरनाक है। उत्तर प्रदेश के लाखों लोगों को बेघर करने की साजिश है। कांग्रेस पार्टी उत्तर प्रदेश के लोगों के साथ किसी प्रकार का अहित बर्दाश्त नहीं करेगी। हम जनता के लिए आंदोलन करेंगे, प्रदेश व्यापी आंदोलन करेंगे और उस बिल को वापस किए जाने तक सरकार को चैन से नहीं रहने देंगे।
गौतम बुद्ध नगर की पुलिस कमिश्नर लक्ष्मी सिंह ने निर्देशानुसार और डीसीपी ग्रेटर नोएडा सादमिया खान के पर्यवेक्षण में ग्रेटर नोएडा जोन के कई थाना क्षेत्र दादरी, जारचा और कासना, दनकौर, इकोटेक 1 और साथ ही रबुपुरा जेवर की पुलिस कावड़ यात्रा के दौरान अपने अपने थाना क्षेत्रों के लेकर आपको बताते चले कि कावड़ यात्रा को सकुशल संपन्न कराने हेतु लगातार अलर्ट है और हर ओर नजर बनाए हुए है। लोकसभा में रेल मंत्री अश्विनी वैष्णव ने रेलवे की भर्ती परीक्षा और वार्षिक कैलेंडर को लेकर संबोधित किया है। सदन में रेल मंत्री ने क्या कुछ कहा है, आपको भी सुनाते हैं।
कल एक मान्यवर सांसद केरला के श्री बशीर जी ने सीएजी रिपोर्ट का हवाला दिया था। हम लोगों ने रात भर सीएजी रिपोर्ट खंगाली। मान्यवर बशीर जी है। माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, कल सीएजी रिपोर्ट का हवाला दिया था। हम लोगों ने रात भर सीएजी रिपोर्ट का उसको खंगाला, लेकिन कहीं पर भी हमें उसमें एससी, एसटी, ओबीसी से संबंधित कोई विषय नहीं निकला। मैं ये क्लैरिफाई करना चाहूंगा, लेकिन साथ ही साथ ये भी कहना चाहूंगा कि माननीय अध्यक्ष जी पिछले 10 वर्षों में अगर रिक्रूटमेंट की बात करें अध्यक्ष जी, 2004 से 14 का यूपीए का कार्यकाल मात्र 4,11,000 रिक्रूटमेंट इन्होंने दिया था रेलवे में। और माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, 2014 से 2024 में एनडीए के 10 वर्षों में 5,02,000 रिक्रूटमेंट हुआ।
टैलेंट मैनेजमेंट की दुनिया में आपको बताते चले कि स्विच एंटरटेनमेंट का आगाज हो गया है, जिसे मनोरंजन के क्षेत्र में अभी से एक क्रांतिकारी कदम माना जा रहा है। स्विच एंटरटेनमेंट की संकल्पना और इसे शुरू करने का श्रेय पुनीत सिंह को जाता है, जो पिछले 1 दशक से फिल्म और पीआर जगत में सक्रिय हैं। इस खास मौके पर मौजूद सलीम खान ने कहा कि स्विच एंटरटेनमेंट की शुरुआत अपने में एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण घटना है। पुनीत और संतुल को कलाकारों द्वारा फेम की जाने वाली तमाम चुनौतियों की अच्छी समझ है। स्विच एंटरटेनमेंट का आगाज हो चुका है और इसको लेकर पुनीत और संतुल को कलाकारों द्वारा फेस की योग्यता के बारे में पता है, साथ ही पीआर जगत में सक्रिय है। और इस खास मौके पर सलीम खान ने कहा कि स्विच एंटरटेनमेंट एक नई शुरुआत है और अपने आप में एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण घटना भी है। पुनीत और संतुल को कलाकारों द्वारा फेस की जाने वाली तमाम चुनौतियों की अच्छी समझ भी है। दरअसल स्विच एंटरटेनमेंट का आगाज हो चुका है। मनोरंजन के क्षेत्र में क्रांतिकारी कदम भी उठाए गए हैं, जहां पर तमाम लोगों को कई तरीके की चुनौतियों के बारे में बताया गया। साथ ही स्विच एंटरटेनमेंट एक का आगाज हो गया, जिसके बाद में आपको बताते चलें कि लगातार मनोरंजन के क्षेत्र में क्रांतिकारी कदम भी जो हैं वो उठाए जा रहे हैं। वियतनाम के प्रधानमंत्री भारत की 3 दिन की राजकीय दौरे पर दिल्ली पहुंचे हैं, जिसे लेकर विशेष ब्रीफिंग की गई है। तो सीधा आपको लिए चलते हैं दिल्ली।
visit When he arrived on the 30th, he was received at the airport by Minister of State for External Affairs, Shri Pavitra Margarita. Yesterday he had a series of engagements, including a business event. He had brought with him a very large business delegation. This was followed by events in the Chancery. They have a new embassy building which was inaugurated, and they had a community event. The main official engagements were all today. The visit of the Prime Minister is after quite some time. He has been Prime Minister since 2021 when he was appointed. He has met our Prime Minister 3 times last year, actually, but this is his first visit to India, and was a very important visit, which comes after 8 years after our Prime Minister Modi, paid a very historic visit to Vietnam when our bilateral relationship was elevated to the highest level of relationship that they have, which is a comprehensive strategic partnership. And over these 8 years, both sides have been working on the agenda of our bilateral partnership, and therefore this was an occasion to take stock of where we are and to plan the road for the future. So earlier today, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh was accorded ceremonial welcome at Rashtrapati Bhavan Forecourt by the Prime Minister. You have seen the visuals. It was a very grand, solemn, grand, and yet a ceremony that was full of warmth. You saw the warmth between the 2 Prime Ministers in that event. This was followed in the official engagements by restricted level talks with our Prime Minister, followed by delegation level talks and a lunch, and the Prime Minister called on Rashtrapati Ji and also Uparashtrapati Ji. Honorable External Affairs Minister had met him yesterday evening. So it was a full day of engagements for the Prime Minister, and he also addressed a little while ago the ICWA had organized in Sapru House a strategic talk by him on strategic policy matters. As you know, Vietnam is one of our closest partners in the ASEAN region and a pillar of our Act East policy. It is a country with which we have a long and historic and civilizational relationship, which has blossomed into many different fields, in the defense and security field, in the economic trade and investment field, in people-to-people contact. So all these are very bright areas of our cooperation. Vietnam today is a rapidly growing economy, as you know, and is similar to our Viksit Bharat 2047. They also have Vietnam 2045 vision to become a developed country, a high-income developed country by 2045. And this was a common refrain today in the discussions. The Vietnamese Prime Minister referred to it several times, that we have similar ambitions. Our bilateral trade is about $15 billion, although both sides do feel that this could be significantly increased, and the very large business delegation that accompanied the Prime Minister speaks to the interest that Vietnamese business has in India. A joint statement on enhancing our comprehensive strategic partnership and a plan of action for the implementation for the next 4 years, 2024-28, were the 2 key outcomes of the visit. In addition, we signed a number of agreements, 9 in all, to further broaden and deepen our cooperation. These are in very diverse areas. You will see a list of that on the website. They cover everything from cooperation in medicinal plants to customs cooperation to radio and television programming, legal field, heritage conservation, etc. Both sides discussed common security challenges, and agreed to further enhance our defense ties, which is a very important pillar of our partnership, as I've said. 2 lines of credit agreements were signed between Vietnam's Ministry of Finance and the Import Bank of India, amounting to $300 million US. This was part of the package that Prime Minister, during his visit to Vietnam, had announced some time ago, and the actual identification of the projects that these 2 lines of credit will be used for has now been completed. One of them is for Coast Guard ships, and the other is for fast border patrol boats. Both the Prime Ministers witnessed the signing and exchange of the MOUs, and at that time they also virtually inaugurated the Army Software Park in the Telecommunications University in Nha Trang in Vietnam, which has been completed under an Indian grant. Vietnam also announced that it will join the Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, and the early completion of procedures for joining the International Solar Alliance was also indicated. Prime Minister reiterated that Vietnam is a critical pillar in India's Act East policy and Indo-Pacific. The leader spoke of the importance of the rules-based order in the region, including upholding international law, particularly the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, and freedom of navigation and overflight. They reaffirmed that a peaceful, stable, secure, free, open, inclusive and rules-based region is in the common interest of all the countries. Preservation of shared heritage was also one of the dimensions in which we cooperate with Vietnam. India has provided technical assistance worth $2.25 million for conservation and restoration of UNESCO World Heritage Site at My Son in Quang Nam Province. ASI and the Archaeological Survey of India has completed the restoration of 3 of the sites, and a letter of intent was signed for the F block of temples in the area of conservation of shared heritage. Also, an MOU for development of the National Maritime Heritage Complex at Lothal was also signed in this context. The Prime Minister underscored the importance of closer people-to-people exchanges, with tourism booming between the countries, anything between 300,000 to 400,000 in number. There are as many as 56 flights a week between the 2 countries, which shows that the people-to-people relationship is also booming. Both sides discussed opportunities to cooperate on global South issues, where Vietnam participated in the first and the second Voice of the Global South Summit hosted by India last year. And both sides also agreed to enhance parliamentary exchanges. The meeting between the 2 leaders has been highly productive, affording them an opportunity to comprehensively review the full spectrum of bilateral relations. Vietnam's unequivocal support for India's permanent membership of the United Nations Security Council was also reiterated today, as was Vietnam's support for India playing a greater role in world affairs. In conclusion, I could say that the India-Vietnam relationship is one of civilizational friends, and India as a trusted partner was reiterated again and again by the Vietnamese Prime Minister. I will now take some questions if you have any.
So, Ayushi, we can start from you.
So this is Ayush Shirwal from ANI. Good evening. Can we have more details on the discussion in defense sector? Because there were reports that Vietnam is interested in acquiring the BrahMos missile. So was there any discussion on that? And also, was the recent situation in the West Asia discussed between the 2 leaders? Thank you.
Siddhant?
So Siddhant from WION. How much was the situation in South China Sea discussed? We saw the Vietnamese Prime Minister make references to it while standing alongside the Prime Minister.
Uma?
So I'm Huma Siddiqui from the Financial Express. Was the energy security discussed? Because India has been looking for exploration in the South China Sea.
One more question, sir.
Good evening, sir. Rishabh from Times Now. So the Indochina Peninsula, there is a lot of stories coming in about a human trafficking, be it from Laopedia, be it from Vietnam, Thailand or Myanmar. Was this also discussed between the leaders?
Okay, so I have 4 questions here on the defense sector. While I will not go into specifics, within the comprehensive strategic partnership that we have, defense collaboration, as I have said, is a very important pillar. And both leaders recognize that industry collaboration is a priority. Indeed, defense industry cooperation has emerged as a very significant area, as I have described to you in my initial presentation, including the defense lines of credit. We have signed an implementation arrangement for defense industry cooperation, which establishes a framework for such cooperation. Then we also have an overarching approach to defense supplies for Vietnam, guided by their specific requirements. Technology transfers in defense production was also one of the areas identified by the Vietnamese side as an area of their interest. Turning to the South China Sea, both sides, as I have said, discussed the importance of the South China Sea. The fact was emphasized by the Vietnamese Prime Minister that 60% of, as much as 60% of global trade passes through the area, and the importance of a free, open and waterway and lines of sea lines was of utmost importance. Freedom of navigation and overflight is of utmost importance, and that a peaceful, stable, secure, free and open and inclusive and rules-based region is something that both Vietnam and India share as important for us as well as for others in the region. On energy security, we have, as you know, as you rightly pointed out, we have been in the region in Vietnam for over now 35 years. ONGC Videsh has a concession there. We operate in a block along with Vietnam and with Russia. The oil wells there have been productive for a long time. We have also now extended the concession last year, and we look forward to new exploration in that region. On the issue of scam centers that you asked about, we do not have any such instances in Vietnam, although we have in other parts of Southeast Asia. So whereas we do take this issue up in our interactions with counterparts from the countries in that region, and we have done it at the level of External Affairs Minister as well recently, and whenever I also meet my counterparts, we take up these issues, but not with Vietnam, because Vietnam is not specifically involved in that. Have any other questions?
Kalol?
This is Carlo.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think I missed the question on West Asia. The two leaders discussed.
तो यहाँ रुकते हैं एक छोटे से ब्रेक के लिए.
हम हरियाणवी अब हर घर नल से शुद्ध जल पाते हैं. हमारा हरियाणा, नॉन स्टॉप हरियाणा.
ब्रेक के बाद स्वागत है आप सभी का। रुक करते हैं तो सीधा आप लिए चलते हैं वियतनाम के प्रधानमंत्री, जहां पर भारत की 3 दिन के राजकीय यात्रा पर दिल्ली पहुंचे हैं, तो सीधा वहां पर विशेष ब्रीफिंग की गई है।
With Vietnam regarding Myanmar, and the fact that both India and Vietnam support the 5 principles that the ASEAN have emphasized as their attitude, as their policy towards Myanmar. And both sides did talk about the importance of peace and stability in Myanmar. So in that respect.
Ayansha?
Sir, this is Ayansha Mitra. So if you could elaborate what the two heads of government discussed regarding the Global South.
So, Prime Minister appreciated the fact that Vietnam has been very supportive of the Global South and has attended both the events that we had last year, and hoped that Vietnam would participate in our future activities with regard to the Global South. And the Vietnamese Prime Minister assured that Vietnam would be a very willing and happy participant in all our initiatives in the Global South. As I mentioned, he indicated that Vietnam is fully supportive of India's role in world affairs and all the initiatives that we take.
So if there are no more questions, Umar?
I just wanted to clarify, you mentioned that we are also giving them a line of credit in defense. So how much is that credit?
There are 2 lines of credit. One is 180 million and the other is 120 million. So a total of $300 million.
Both in defense?
Both in defense, yes.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming for this press engagement, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
फ्लैश में इतना ही। नमस्कार।